Hey everybody, this is Pastor Jennifer, and we are so excited to have you with us today in the break room. I have as a special guest Miss Anna LeBreton from Mississippi Blood Services. She is the outreach coordinator there, and so we want to welcome you to the break room today.
Thank you. It's my absolute pleasure to be here.
Well, it's our pleasure to have you here. I've been hearing out and about the need for blood drives, for churches to do blood drives, for organizations to do blood drives. And so I wanted to invite you in today so that you could just educate us a little bit and let us know what is going on with the blood supply and why the need is so great right now.
It's always great.
Okay.
And I've got certain people that will say, "How's the blood?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, "Dried up."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's always a need.
Yeah.
People have busy lives.
Absolutely.
People are coming and going
Mm-hmm.
normally.
Yeah, yeah.
COVID,
Mm-hmm.
COVID's kind of put another cring up into our blood collection.
Mm-hmm.
Because of mask wearing, social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
We can't collect what we used to collect. We could send a coach out and
Mm-hmm.
collect 45, 50 units.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mississippi Blood Services needs between 250 and 350 a day in units and products to meet our hospital needs.
Wow.
With a coach, we can put 3 donors where we could put 5.
Wow.
We can put 3 donors on a coach at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going out and getting 50, we're getting 20.
Gotcha.
Which we're very thankful for,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not meeting our needs. And hospitals have had to put surgeries, normal surgeries, not elective.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking needed surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
They've had to postpone because there's just not the product there.
Yeah. And I know that there are some people, even outside of a hospitalization, who need blood on a regular basis that's not from a car accident or not from, something unexpected. There are some people who have to receive blood pretty regularly. So you've got that group of people, then you're still having to be able to respond to the needs of those who have accidents and unexpected things to happen. And then we know COVID actually affects the blood. So tell us about what type of blood you need, because we know there are different blood types. What type do you need?
We're critically, as in there's nothing on the shelf,
Mm-hmm.
O's and B's.
Okay.
But that's the normal critical.
Mm-hmm.
If it's red,
Mm-hmm.
we need
We
it.
need it. Right, right.
Pretty much. And platelets are very, very important as well.
Mm-hmm.
Platelets, which will sustain a cancer patient longer to the point where they might make that clinical trial
Mm-hmm.
to receive that treatment. They only last 5 days. And in 5 days, they expire. I can tell you we're not expiring any products.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it comes in, as soon as it's tested and labeled, it's out the door. And we need them to come in
Mm-hmm.
on a regular basis. We're blessed with some donors that come in every 2 weeks and donate platelets.
Mm-hmm.
We need triple that to meet our need.
Okay. So for somebody who says, well, I don't know what my blood type is, it really doesn't matter if they're considering giving blood because you guys test that, correct?
We do.
And
We test from, I say soup to nuts, but not everyone knows that term depending upon your generation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, A to Z
Mm-hmm.
and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our blood drives are actually offering COVID antibody testing.
Okay.
And you can go to our website at msblood.com to see what blood drives are offering it if you're interested in that. We were offering it in our centers, but are not anymore.
And so for those who don't know the purpose of an antibody test, let them know what that is for.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
COVID convalescent plasma, CCP. With 1 CCP donation, they can make up to 5 doses of a therapeutic treatment that helps critically ill COVID-19 patients in the hospitals. It could make the difference between life and death. You need to be 14 days symptom-free from having COVID. Now, know if you did not have COVID, but you got your vaccination, if we test you, you're going to come back positive for COVID, but you do not, or you're going to test positive for the antibody. Sorry, that doesn't mean you have COVID. You're going to test positive for the antibody, and that does not mean that you can donate CCP. You must have had the active virus in order to be considered for CCP donations. We have a lady that drives in from Hollandale every 2 weeks and donates CCP. She hasn't missed it. She's been such a faithful donor. I've asked her to pick up a few people along the way to come with, and she didn't know anybody else that had it. Yeah. But when I asked someone, can you come? And I'm going, how big is your car?
Yeah.
Bring 10 friends. And I had a lady say, oh, I don't have 10 friends. And I went, you don't have to like them much. I said, you'll make friends along the way. I said, just bring them on in. If you've got a bus, use it. Just come on in.
So the supply is critically short, and everybody basically can come and be a part of the solution. So who should not give blood?
That's a great question. The very first question we ask you is, are you feeling well and healthy today? If your answer is no, don't. If you have a condition in which you need to take blood thinners, don't. But those who can't can be some of our most vocal champions. Get on social media. Tell your neighbor. If someone you know is sick and they're fine, encourage them to come. We take all walks, types, doesn't matter. If you got an arm, we need you. If you're healthy, we need you. We cater to donors, not patients.
And so for some people who say, well, if they're on the receiving end and they're fearful of having to receive blood, tell them how we know it's safe for them to receive blood when it's needed and something that their doctor suggests.
We actually, like I said, test from A to Z. HIV, hepatitis, communicable diseases, and letters and words that even I don't know what they stand for, but they do test for. When you receive blood, you can be assured that its potency, purity, and identification is there. We're governed by the FDA, other accrediting agencies such as AABB, the American Association of Blood Banks, Blood Bank Centers of America. All of them do inspections and make sure that we're following government guidelines.
Very good. So tell us about Mississippi Blood Services. How long have you been there? And really educate the community as to what all Mississippi Blood Services does.
Mississippi Blood Services has been here serving Mississippi patients for the last 45 years.
Wow.
I'm lucky enough, this September will mark my 19th year.
Wow.
And prior to that, I was 10 years at a blood center in Louisiana. And this is home. This is home. Once you believe in our mission, and our mission is saving lives. It's seeing the faces of these children. And as outreach coordinator, I have relationships with the patients and their families. We set up accounts. We've got something called our donor protection plan. And it's 5-fold that can cover you on an individual basis. It can cover you on a special group basis. And what that does is, financially, blood transfusions can be very expensive. We don't charge for blood. Never have, never will. What we do is we recoup what it costs us to collect, test, label, and transport to the hospital with a, say, special group donor protection plan. The highest level of that is 25 credits. Not 25 donors, 25 credits. And a credit can be, a whole blood donation is 1, all the way up to a platelet donation that can be from 1 to 4. At 25 credits, you're assured that whatever your insurance doesn't cover for those fees that we charged, we take back up to $10,000.
Wow.
Now, some, like sickle cell patients who receive transfusions every 2 weeks, every 6 weeks, that can add up
Absolutely.
quickly. Cancer patients who are on ongoing treatments, that can add up very quickly. And this is an easy way for your friends and your loved ones who want to do something for you can make a difference. It doesn't matter what your blood type is, because this is not a unit for unit thing. This is a credit system. We're putting blood on the shelf. It may not be your blood type, but there's someone else having a special. Not their blood type, but it's yours. So it's one hand washing the other. Everybody's got everybody else's back. And the whole idea is to get blood on the shelf so that it's readily available for the patients that need it.
And so for people who may be watching today, maybe they're a part of a fraternity, a sorority, maybe other churches are watching, a pastor, maybe schools are watching. If they say, okay, we want to be a part of being the solution, we want to make sure if our loved ones go in the hospital and need blood, it's there. We want to make sure if we get sick and need blood, it's there. What do they need to do in order to have a blood drive?
Call me.
Okay.
And I'll be happy to set you up with the marketing rep that handles your area. Feel free to publish all of my contact information, including my cell phone.
Okay.
The hardest part is getting phone calls from patients' families.
Right.
My baby has just been told she can't get the transfusion that she needs because there's none on the shelf. It literally, we take it so personally.
Right.
And we ache. And our entire department, my boss, Merle Eldridge, who is the director of public relations, recruitment, and mobile collections. It's, late, and we're getting phone calls. What do you think we should do? We try everything under the sun, and if you've got an idea, we'd love to hear it, because we're like, I don't know. We've tried everything. We don't, we can't go to their house and pick them up. I wish we could, because we would.
Right.
We certainly would. I've had people say, "Oh, I need to go donate," and I'll shock them, because I'll say, I happen to have a bag right here in my purse. I think, just go ahead and sit down and I'll take care of you. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm going, no. No, not really, but I wish.
Yeah. And so for people who may be interested in hosting a blood drive, you will actually come to their campus or their church, wherever they are, with mobile units.
Absolutely.
And you can collect the blood there.
We can go inside. If you've got a fellowship hall or a gymnasium, someplace that's got great lighting, great ventilation. We don't want to come and set up in your fellowship hall if you're serving dinner. That would be biohazard area next to food, which we could not do. But we have plenty coaches. And there's 3 things that we need.
Okay.
Level parking.
Okay.
The instrumentation on our coaches is very sensitive, and we want to make sure if we're collecting it, we can actually use it. We need non-potable water, meaning we need bathrooms for the staff to go to, and we need you to help us publicize the blood drive, bring the donors in, and encourage them.
And so, about how many collections can you make within the course of an hour?
With COVID, I'm so hoping that we're actually calling it the C word, where many people used to call cancer the C word. We're calling it the C word because we just don't want to say it anymore. We're so over it. And it depends on what procedure they're doing. If they're just doing whole blood, somebody's in there and out within an hour.
Okay.
If they're doing a double red cell, it may take 25, 30 minutes longer because they're doing a unit of packed red cells. And if you're an O and a B and you qualify, I strongly encourage you to do a double red cell. But within an hour, we used to be able to do 40 an hour. We're probably doing 20, 25 an hour on the coaches. But that's okay. That's okay. We can stay a little longer. We can bring more than one coach depending upon how many donors you have. We can make it work. Just give us a call.
So you can bring the mobile units. You can do 20 to 25 people per hour per coach. And so people coming to give blood, they really don't have to know anything. They just have to come and be willing, know that they're healthy, as far as they don't have COVID at that time or some pre-existing condition that would keep them from being able to donate. They just come and say, I'm here, I'm willing, and you all do the rest.
The only thing we ask of them is a few days before the blood drive, start really hydrating. You want to have the best experience and outcome. Start hydrating, drinking plenty of water, staying away from the coffee and the iced tea. Hard to do. But stay away from that. That also ensures you a great outcome. Before you come to us, eat a great meal. I can't tell you how many high school blood drives I've been on where someone does not have the best outcome. And I'll say, well, sweetheart, what did you have for breakfast? Oh, I ate. I had a half a Pop-Tart and a Diet Pepsi. That's not a good meal. We're talking for real meals, not a college student meal. And I remember those meals. That was M&Ms and a glass of milk was breakfast when I was in college. Have a for real meal, and you'll ensure a better outcome for yourself.
Okay. And how old do you have to be able to donate?
Great question. 16 with parental permission, and you can actually print the permission slip off of our website, msblood.com. 17 and older, come on in.
Okay. So is there an age cap? Are you ever too old to give blood?
If you're over 1,000, I probably wouldn't donate. But as long as you're well and healthy, bring it in.
Okay. So you need all blood types. It can come from anyone 16 years and older. Those 16 do have to have parental consent. We just need to know you're hydrated, you're healthy, and willing to be a part of this critical solution, be a part of the solution to this critical blood shortage. Is there anything else that you want to share with us today that people would need to know?
Well, you need to weigh 100. You need to weigh 110 pounds.
Okay.
That's something that I want you to know.
Okay.
But it doesn't depend on your race, your social background. It matters not. We need all types all the time. The African American community, they're an essential part of treating someone with sickle cell anemia. It is not, it's rarer for a Caucasian to have the correct antigens and antibodies that sickle cell patients build up. It is more often than not another African American will match that. It, like I said, it's not out of the realm, but it matters. Asians, the same. So you're not just putting blood on the shelf. You're helping your own individual community. You're helping your subdivision. You're helping the kid across the street that you don't even know. We have a young man in Byram who has been using, for all the years that I've been there, I think he's 13 now. I call him Sweet Cheeks because he's just an adorable young man, and hope he's not watching because he doesn't like me calling him that. But he had his own blood drive at his subdivision, and it was slowing down. He went and knocked on doors.
Wow.
Will you come donate for me? And this one man came and donated, and he was actually this patient's perfect match.
Wow.
Antigen to antigen. Every time a sickle cell patient has to use blood that's not a complete perfect match, they build up more antigens, more antibodies, which prohibits them from having that again. You get that one shot and they build up an antibody and can't have that anymore. When you run out of antibodies, there's nothing that can be transfused.
Wow.
You know what the outcome to that is. And it makes my heart sick to know that. And so we need everybody. This is not a race thing. It's not a religious thing. I'm sorry, but even though that the governor's raised the mask mandate, we're considered a medical facility. You do still have to wear a mask while you're there. We're going to have one on. As we discussed earlier, I've had COVID. I've had both my vaccinations. I should be running free. But no. We're being safe. We're socially distancing. We're continuing all of the COVID mandated protocols for a medical facility that we need to. So know that it's safe to come in.
So, Ms. LeBreton, let me ask you a question. For those who might be interested in giving, but they say, well, I don't want to go give and get COVID while I'm there. Is COVID transmissible by blood?
Awesome question, and it's a question I get often. So far, and I say so far because with COVID everything changes by the hour. We have been told unequivocally though that it is not transmissible by blood. So you can't give COVID to a patient. If you are a patient receiving blood, you cannot get COVID from your transfusion. If you contract COVID, it is airborne. It is aerosol, which means it is in a sneeze or a cough or a breath or a touch, but it's not going to come from blood.
I think that's very good for people to know, and even for those on the receiving end, who are concerned, I don't want to get
Absolutely.
COVID, to know that if they get it, it's not going to be from a transfusion.
Yes.
It's going to be from another. One of the things that we were talking about earlier, I heard you mention that more money is spent on research for male pattern baldness than sickle cell. We know male pattern baldness is basically, just an aesthetic thing. It's an outward appearance thing. But sickle cell, proper treatment for sickle cell can be the difference between life and death for
Absolutely.
someone. So it's disheartening to hear, that there's not more money being sent toward research for sickle cell. But for those who are watching who may have the sickle cell trait, can they give blood?
They cannot give blood because their red cells are sickle shaped, and that won't filter. It won't go through our filters, and it being incorrectly shaped won't help our sick patients. But someone that has sickle trait positive, but that is not have been diagnosed with sickle cell disease, can still donate platelets. We would love for all of those that are sickle trait positive to come in and donate platelets. Again, I said platelets only last 5 days, but platelets are used to treat sickle cell, cancer, burn patients, you name it. ITP, they are all of them can use platelets at any time. And so don't think you can't. There's still something you can do.
And so for those who there's not a blood drive near them who want to come to the office, can you give us your location?
Absolutely.
And your operational hours?
Here in Flowood, if you're local, we're open Monday, Tuesday, 9 to 5. Wednesday, Thursday, 9 to 5:30. Friday, 9 to 5. And Saturday, 7:30 to 2. We are open on Sundays for platelets only. So if you're interested in coming in for platelets, please give us a call. We'll get you to our appointment department, and they'll make you an appointment to come in on Sunday as well. We need platelets every day, all the time. We have an office in Oxford, not far across from the Ole Miss campus. They're open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. We have a Cleveland office that's open Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Thursdays 10 to 6. But if you look on our website, you're going to find a bus somewhere.
And again, what is that website?
msblood.com.
Okay. Very good. Well, I want to thank you for coming today. I want to thank you for educating us and just letting us know what the needs are, how we can be a part of making a difference. And it looks like 7 days a week, there's something that you can do to make a difference. And so, again, this is Miss Anna LeBreton, Outreach Director at Mississippi Blood Services. Thank you for coming today to meet us in the break room.
Thanks. And they can come and donate with you guys on April the 11th?
Absolutely.
Is it April
on
11th?
Sunday,
Yeah.
April the 11th, we're going to be hosting a blood drive that I'm not just trying to get you to be a part, we're a part as well. And so on Sunday, April the 11th, we're going to be hosting a blood drive right here at Jackson Revival Center, Church's South Campus. And so if you want to be a part, we will be posting where you can go online, you can book your appointment, and we will be here throughout the first part of the day. So Sunday, April 11th. And especially for those of you who are watching, who are members of Jackson Revival Center, we especially want you to come out and be a part of making a difference. Well, we want to thank everybody for meeting us in the break room today. And listen, if you are being blessed by the things that are being shared, I want you to invite your friends, invite your family members, and meet us back next week, same place, same time. Until then, my sincere prayer is that God's absolute best will be yours. Y'all go make today a great day.